Hi, my name is Murray. I'm from Sydney, Australia. I'm married with 3 girls. 6 years ago, I started to have stiffness and pain in my left hip joint. At the time, x-rays indicated the early onset of osteoarthritis. 6 years later, I'm now battling severe osteoarthritis. I'm 6'2", I weigh 118 kilos, and I've played sports from the age of 5. I've been actively at the gym for 24 years. I'm creating this video blog to assist others who may need or are thinking of a hip replacement, detailing my preparation and recovery from the procedure 2 weeks prior to 4 weeks post-procedure. I'm due to have the procedure in 2 weeks on the 4th of February 2014 at a North Shore hospital in Sydney. I'm going to post the blog in 5 parts. Part 1, which is this blog, is 2 weeks prior to the procedure. Part 2 will be 1 week prior to the procedure. Part 3, day of the surgery and 7 days consecutively post-surgery. Part 4, 2 weeks post-procedure. And Part 5, 4 weeks post-procedure. My condition is severe osteoarthritis, which is simply bone on bone through loss of cartilage between the head and the cup of the hip joint. The condition has also caused spurs, bony growths to develop on the head of the hip joint, which limits my movement. I only have 30% forward and backward movement and 10% to either side. I now have quite a lot of limitations which I seem to have adapted to over the years. I cannot tie my shoelaces, I struggle with putting on a sock and cutting toenails, I can't wash my left foot with my hands. Getting up off the couch, out of the car, trying to kneel on the ground, getting up off the ground, all problematic. Even going to the water parks with the kids and using the floats and the slides provides amusement for others. I get lots of pain when sleeping, flat on my back, which continually wakes me during the night. The pain radiates from the buttock to the thigh and to the left of my calf. I can't squat or leg press anymore at the gym. I just do leg extensions and limited hack squats. I've been advised to do stretch or do yoga. Although this helps a little bit, no amount of stretching or yoga will bring back the cartilage or remove the spurs. I have cortisone injections every 3 to 6 months, and this does help greatly with the pain management, but I'm now needing them more often. I do have a small limp, which is just going to get progressively worse if I leave it. What's likely to cause my condition? Well, many years of sports from the time I was able to walk: soccer, surfing, running both long distance, cross country and sprinting, indoor cricket, and lots of really heavy squats with poor form. The squats were a big mistake in my early years. The heavy squats with good form is fine, but heavy squats with poor form is not, which is what I was doing. Unfortunately, ego and adolescent testosterone overcomes common sense. Why have I chosen the surgeon I have? Well, fortunately for me, my sister works as a doctor in a northern New South Wales hospital, and I asked her to ask the orthopaedic section to whom they thought was the best sports hip surgeon in Sydney. Over the last 2 years, I've seen 3 hip specialists, and they all came to the same conclusion fairly quickly, that it was hip resurfacing I was needing. Initially, I was looking at the anterior full hip replacement, where the procedure is performed through the thigh with muscle separation. I thought this would be less recovery and I would get back to the gym quicker. But after listening to the surgeons and doing all my research, I've agreed hip resurfacing is the way to go. When researching, be aware of old and outdated information, especially on the internet. This can cloud your judgment. I've been asked will it last my lifetime, and the answer is no. If I was 76, the probability would have been much higher that it would have lasted my lifetime, but at 46 I am expecting another hip replacement in my 60s. I've had quite a few fears coming up to this procedure, primarily muscle loss through recovery. 6 weeks without any gym work at 46 is not a good recipe. It's so hard to regain your lost muscle in your 40s. I am working on ways of getting back to the gym after 2 weeks for light upper body exercises to minimise muscle wastage, whilst not putting weight on the hip. I will be lying or sitting initially for these exercises. Another fear was what was actually going to happen in the operation. I sourced the full operation on YouTube and watched it from start to finish, and this has really helped me. And finally, the procedure not going as expected. So the conclusion I've come to is that there are 4 major factors for procedure success: choosing the right procedure for yourself, choosing the right surgeon for that procedure, following pre and post operative instructions, and very importantly is having the most positive physical and mental approach to the procedure. That's it for part 1. I'll see you in a week for part 2. Goodbye.